Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. How are you? How are you? I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things that you love with those that you love to do them with. Where is my scan on there? That'll do. That'll do. How's everybody doing? What's crack-a-lacking, people? It's Saturday. It's 5 minutes to 3, 4 minutes to 3. How's everybody up? What are you up to? What are you up to, you cheeky little lot? You having a good time? Sun's out, guns out. Yeah? You're out with the kids? What you doing? What you doing? You watching the news? World War III about to blow everything up? Maybe just in time. I'm not usually someone who advocates for atomic weapons, but you know what? It wouldn't be such a terrible thing if this Premier League season got kind of shut down at this stage, would it? You know, Tottenham might stay up. Arsenal won't win the league. You know, all we need is a leader in the camp to make some difficult decisions. And you know what? My priority is as the Prime Minister of this great country, Great Britain, and of course, if I was to be in charge of Tottenham Hotspur, I'd send them down because I'm Arsenal through and through. But either way, I hope everyone is having a really, really poor life because that's what my policies are led to do. I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it today. I can't help myself though. I can't help myself with the fun and the games of the AI. What's crack-a-lacking, people? What is crack-a-lacking? It's so much fun. So much fun. I don't know if you saw on Stelios' show last night. I had Johnny ready to go. I had Lubo. I even had Stel. I had them all. Maybe we'll bring them up in a little while. Have a bit of fun with you guys. But what are we doing? What are we doing here? Well, listen, what we are doing here is we've got some bad news, basically. The New York Times. No, not the New York Times. Forget that absolute disgrace of a newspaper. How about the Wall Street Journal? Finance-based. Well, they put out an article today. We made it, guys. We made it. We've officially made it to the front page, or at least an article in the Wall Street Journal in America. And it's not great, though. And we're going to talk about that just after I poured myself my cheeky Thatchers. I hope you guys have got yourselves something poured for the next hour. I'm here with you until 4 p.m. And then we're going to wander over, and maybe ponder along the way, over to Football Inc., where we'll have a little chinwag over there with Johnny boy. Johnny! Shall I show you Johnny? I'll show you Johnny. Wait for it. Hang about. Johnny, it's Sean. It's Johnny. I told him. They didn't listen. I told them. I've been saying it, Sean. I've been saying it. Great player. Top player, Sean. Top player. Oh dear. The fun, eh? The fun and games. But yeah, listen, the only way we can get through this, absolute debacle of a season is to have a little bit of fun because, as I say, the Wall Street Journal are saying that Tottenham, if we go down, $200 million plus disaster. I think that's, well, look, I've figured out where they come to that conclusion. If they're using the usual metrics of just lost revenue relative to this season, i.e. no Champions League money, but I think that even if we stay up, there's going to be that hit, right? But obviously you get the parachute payment, but you also do lose a large slice of the Premier League broadcast money. You obviously do lose commercial money, match day money, all that sort of thing. So yeah, it does add up, and I'll walk you through it. I've asked Grok to summarize it for us. And it does sort of make sense. So it is a bit of a massive hit. Obviously, Tottenham are probably a team that could ride it out for one season or whatever. But I think there'd still be some massive implications and ramifications of such things manifesting. So not great. At the same time, we've heard this morning from old Fabrizio Romano and others that Sean Dyche has rejected Tottenham. He's not interested in a short-term contract. And Zerbi isn't going to be coming in on a short-term contract either. I personally, as much as I was on board, and I do want to see Robert De Zerbi managing Tottenham at some point in the future, because I do really like his football and I do really rate his character. I don't think, given what we've experienced in the last or whatever it is, 6 months, 9 months of player petulance and just a resentment to any kind of hardline managerial style, I don't think he'd be the right guy. I think it would just implode, explode, and go even more quickly in the wrong direction, you know? And he's not even someone that's going to toe the line with the ownership, is he? He won't toe the line with the players. He won't toe the line with the ownership. You know, maybe there could be a way for Tottenham to make more revenue streams by getting a boxing event and essentially letting Robert De Zerbi, you know, maybe Igor Tudor as well, fight a couple of players on ringside, you know? That seems like that's more likely to happen right now rather than a happy camp kind of knuckling down. Let's find out how the chat is doing. Don't forget to smash the like button for me on the video, guys. We appreciate all of your support as always. Smash the granny out of the park just to get us going. And hit the subscribe if you haven't already. You know, notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. We are available on your podcast platforms. So as soon as this show is finished, it will be immediately uploaded. So if you don't get a chance to watch this, if you're watching this on playback, but you'd rather be watching it back on Spotify, then you can do that. You can also listen to it back on Apple Pods, Amazon, and Google Podcasts and all that stuff as well. So give us a follow, give us a rating, whatever you got to do over there. And lastly, for the admin guys, we are, of course, sponsored by OK Jersey. It's okay if you want a new jersey. These guys bring out new jerseys all the time. Sports athleisure got you covered. Code Sean at checkout gets you 8% off. Can't ask fairer than that. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What about Harry Redknapp, by the way? What about Harry Redknapp on at Cheltenham yesterday? I know I spoke about this on Stel's show. I haven't had a chance to speak about it with you lot. On Cheltenham yesterday, he did come out and say, you know, I absolutely love the job. I'd love the opportunity. I'd certainly jump at the chance. Couple of jam roly-polies. You know, give me a call, Daniel. Give me a call, Igor. Whoever it is who's running the show, give me a call. I'd absolutely take it. You know, I'm fighting fit. I'm in great health and couldn't think of anything better. I'd have a go. Can't ask fairer than that. Absolutely fantastic. So I'd be interested. To be entirely honest, I've been racking my brains, guys, for the last, I don't know, how long has it been? A month? 6 weeks since Thomas Frank came in? I didn't have a perspective on on Igor Tudor. I don't know anything about the guy. We'll see how it goes. Hasn't gone well. And you know what? I think I'm probably going to take this opportunity to, in the isolated moment, not generally, but the isolated moment, I probably want to retract and rework my opinion on Jed Spence going out of his way to mock and have like a little bit of a dig at Igor Tudor for not shaking his hand, because I watched it back and I've spoken to a few people, and I spoke to a Liverpool friend of mine called John, and he was basically saying, don't know too much about Igor Tudor, but he's got a friend of his, a mutual friend of ours, lives in Italy, and he spoke to him. John spoke to that guy about Igor Tudor, and he said, the other guy said he can't believe Tottenham would make that mistake, right? Apart from his short-term success with Juve for a very short period of time, it was very quickly uncovered that the guy has absolutely no tactical nous and absolutely no personality, no ability to kind of win people over. So in these sorts of moments, you roll the dice, right? What do you want? Do you want a guy who has the ability to, like, not necessarily rely on tactics, but to be able to convey some message that gets everybody singing behind the same, or singing from the same hymn sheet? Or do you want someone that can, you know, that can figure out a tactic that will work given the frustrations and the restrictions that we have? The other jazz. Well, pick one of those lanes, but in Igor Tudor, it doesn't look like we've got either. You know, and obviously we are working within the restrictions of how much time we have. So even if Igor Tudor did have some sort of tactical magic, you know, ace up his sleeve, those sorts of things are going to take time to implement, and he doesn't have it, and neither does the next guy. So obviously, as time goes on, as the time maturity value gets towards zero, you need you need less about tactics and more about just figuring out the right words in the right order to be able to convey something that corrals and some sort of unity. But it doesn't matter which lane you wanted to go down. Igor Tudor clearly isn't the guy, and that's why I feel like maybe, as much as I still believe that Jed Spence is definitely a personality issue, I definitely think he's a bit of a, I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, but I do think he's a bit of a, I don't know, bit of a he acts a certain way. I don't know what word to describe, what adjective it is, but where he feels that he's absolutely fine to behave however he wants. I don't think he has much respect for the hierarchy, which I'm not changing my tune, but I am going to dial back my resentment towards him a little bit for going over and calling out Igor Tudor, because having thought about it again, like I say, chewing it over with my friend, I do actually think that Igor Tudor not going over and hugging and consoling Kinsky was probably the lowest form of behavior that you could do given the moment, the situation. I didn't really think about it. I had considered it, contemplated it, but I kind of still leant towards, okay, you know, that's not great, but Jed Spence shouldn't be doing his thing. But you know what? Maybe Jed Spence was doing it, went up to sort of, you know, to kind of mock him, like a very sarcastic endeavor. Was that just because Jed Spence is that sort of guy, or was he sort of speaking for the teammates who maybe are more together and thinking that that's not right, that's not okay, and actually having some sort of way of letting Igor Tudor know that? I don't know. I still think that Jed Spence is a problem child, but I don't think that I feel very strongly, having thought about it, that Igor Tudor's an absolute prick for not only putting him into that position, Kinsky, but then hooking him after 18 minutes and then allowing him to walk off by himself. And it took 3 players to run down the tunnel after him, after the visual sort of ability for everyone to see it. So that moment of walking off was probably incredibly lonely, and you know, and a real stain, I think, on Igor Tudor for not at least giving him a hug and saying, you know, you'll be okay, bro. You'll be okay. So anyway, got off on the point there. Where was I going with it? Managers. So we need to get some managers in, right? I've got some stories for us, guys. Let me come and say hello to the chat first and foremost. I haven't said hello to the chat yet. Chiddly chit chat. Don't forget to smash the like. Marshall's in the house. Big up to you, Moddy Marsh. Big up to you, Scotty. Big up to Rob Belcher. I don't think I can take much more bad news. It's not really that bad news, is it? Like, I don't think they're. I mean, I wasn't expect. Were you expecting Zerbi to come in to Tottenham Hotspur at this stage? I don't, and I don't think it's not the right fit anyway for where we're at right now. What we need. And that's why I say I'm increasingly going down the path, and I don't know. I don't think it will work either way. So it's just a kind of final roll of the dice. But I'm increasingly inclined to think that what Tottenham probably need is someone like a Harry Redknapp that can, I'm not saying come in and be light-hearted, but just come in and have like a personality that is convivial, that people can get behind. Now, he's no pushover, Harry Redknapp. He's no pushover at all. Like, he'll still stand up and be counted and still be more than happy to scream and shout at people. And I don't think he'll take any shit from any of the players either. But I think the way he communicates is inherently clever. I think he's just got a natural, easy way about him. And at this stage, I think that's the final Hail Mary that you've got. More so for me than a Tim Sherwood. I don't think Tim Sherwood's got a particularly likable personality. Really don't. And I know Tim Sherwood did okay in his brief stint at Tottenham Hotspur was it 11, 12 years ago, whatever. But, Harry Redknapp came into Tottenham. I know it was a lot earlier in the season, but he came in when we were rock bottom after we won the cup that year in 2008. Harry Redknapp comes in 2009. That was our previous cup success. We won the Worthington Cup or the Carabao Cup, whatever it was. And Juan de Ramos starts the next season and we're rock bottom. Rock bottom. And I think Harry Redknapp did he get us finishing 10th that year or something? Was it 9th or 10th? You know, something to that extent. So he had an immediate impact. And then obviously everything grew from there. So he might just be the right guy. Again, I don't necessarily think it's the like any solution is going to provide us with any particular security here. But that's what I would say. I'm more inclined to think about him than I am a permanent manager right now, because I don't think any permanent manager that you really want is someone that's going to come in knowing that you might go down. Pochettino's not going to come in. He might have expressed that he'll come in regardless. I don't know. There's reports saying that that's the case, but we'll find out in the summer if he was to come in, even if we were in the Championship. But for right now, if you weren't going to get Pochettino and you wanted a permanent manager to come in and stick and stay, you're going to give a permanent manager the job. You're going to have to stick and stay with him for at least, that's the last roll. That's the last roll of the dice. And he's going to have to go down with the ship or stay up with the ship. So are you going to get a top manager or anything like a good manager to come in now, knowing that the likely outcome is relegation? No. So therefore, do you really want to employ a permanent manager at this stage? Probably not, because your options are going to be limited. So you probably then have to go down the path of a temporary manager. Who's that going to be? Well, the obvious options are either Glenn Hoddle, Tim Sherwood, Harry Redknapp, something like that, something to that effect. And for me, or Sean Dyche, but I'm going to show you Sean Dyche isn't interested. And neither is Roberto De Zerbi. And so for me, I think that Harry Redknapp probably makes the most likely outcome. You know? Anyway, let me say to the rest of the guys. Big up to Kilkenny. Big up to Marshall. Big up to Ghosted, to H. Wallace, to James. Big up to you all. Astra, what's up, mate? What's up, buddy? Mark Choo to you and all the chat. Big up to you. Big up to you. The ironing shake, ratatata, like that. Big up to you guys. Big up to all of you. Big up to you all. So members here. Big up to Fergie. Not sure if real or not. Not sure if what's real or not. Not sure if what's real or not. Don't know. Happy Saturday, Art. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Glenn Drake. Big up to Marky. Big up to Dino. What's going on? You done a great Harry, but Queer Starmer is dead. I need to work on my... Oh, listen. Sounds a little bit like Zippy, doesn't he? Oh, not Zippy. It was the guy from Rainbow. Oh, my name's Keir Starmer. Yeah, my first priority is to lie about everything. Big up to you, Future's Bright. Big up to Marco. Big up to Kixie. Side Dactyl. Kixie, I'm coming out to Thailand, mate. I'm coming out to Thailand in the summer or in September. So I'll look out for you then. There's my boy Drewski in the chat. Big up Drew. Big up Drew. Big up to Rage. Big up to Ironing. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's get on with the show. Big up to you all. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. Right, guys. Right. Oh, George, that was it. George. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It does sound a little bit like that, doesn't it? Does sound a little bit like that. Let's get some stories up for you. We're going to come to the £200 million hit in just a minute. Let me get, where is it? Ratatata. What's this one? Here we go. So we got here, Tottenham make highly rated former Premier League manager top target. Let's start with this one. Tottenham have listed Roberto De Zerbi as a top target as they step up their hunt for a new manager to replace Igor Tudor. Spurs interim boss Tudor has lost all 4 games. He's only 47. Fair enough. I say he's only 47. He looks younger than I do. And have you seen him when he was younger? Jesus Christ, he was a good-looking bloke. I figured that out last night on Stel's show when I put on my bald cap and then put up his picture. And then when I took the cap off and I was like, oh, fuck, he looks much better looking with my thinning hair. So then we went and looked him up when he was about 25. Gee whiz, model stuff. Anyway, his position is now at serious risk. This is, of course, from The Sun. The poor results, as well as a series of hapless performances, which could lead to a shocking relegation, yada, 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 may force the North Londoners' hand. Get rid of that. And see them... Fucking journalism. Check your spelling, for crying out loud. It doesn't take a lot. Them hire a third manager this season. According to Transfer Insider, Fabrizio Romano, Tottenham continue to rate De Zerbi extremely highly. The Giants have been keeping tabs on the Italian tactician for months and wanted to bring him over in February when he left Marseille by mutual decision. The ex-Brighton boss remains Tottenham's favoured candidate, but a potential deal is currently so difficult that Romano described it as unlikely at this stage. A final decision could be made after tomorrow's Premier League game at Liverpool, which is likely to be Tudor's swan song if it ends in the expected home win. Calls for the Croatian's tactician's sacking. Is he a tactician? Don't think so. Intensified after Tuesday's 5-2 loss at Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. The ex-Juventus boss was heavily criticised for his handling of goalkeeper Antonin Kinsky, whom he started between the sticks. Yeah, like I say, I think I've strengthened my argument around him being problematic after that. He probably should have been sacked he probably should have been sacked after that, but he hasn't been. So he hasn't been. So we have to see where we're going to go. Let me come to this one. Oh, let's do this one here. So this is also about Sean Dyche, right? So Tottenham hit an all-time low as Sean Dyche managerial decision made. Tottenham Hotspur have just hit a new low after being rejected by Sean Dyche to replace interim manager Igor Tudor. Despite losing all 4 of his games, Tottenham confirmed on his press conference. We'll do the press conference stuff in a minute. However, work is seemingly being done behind the scenes to find a potential replacement, with Dyche ruling himself out of the running. After losing against Atletico Madrid, Tudor refused to comment on his Spurs' future, which seems to be hanging in the balance. Dyche is not keen on taking over from Tudor in North London. That's according to Pete O'Rourke, who's Give Me Sport, is Neil Football Insider. To be rejected by Dyche only highlights the absolute mess that the club find themselves in as they stare relegation in the face. Putting things into perspective, Tottenham now have just 9 games to salvage their Premier League status. Less than 12 months ago, Spurs were lifting the Europa League trophy, but Vinay and Johan Lang failed to capitalise on the momentum and have driven the club almost into the ground. This story carries on talking a little bit about Harry Redknapp as well, right? But yes, so Sean Dyche doesn't want to be the manager at Tottenham Hotspur in the short term. I don't know why he wouldn't. It's not like I'm pretty sure he's taken teams down before. He hasn't saved every team, has he? And he'd be getting a nice payoff. And imagine the the sort of staying up bonus that he would get, or that anyone else would get. You know, if Harry Redknapp came in right now, his compensation would probably be, I don't know, we'll give you £1 million until the end of the season. But if you keep us up, we'll give you a £4 million bonus. You know? Absolutely insane. Everyone would want it. Everyone should want it, because right now it's not like they're coming in with the expectations to do so. Like, the fan base is almost universally accepting now what's probably going to happen. Obviously, we got the Premier League games tonight. Any games on this evening? Yeah, West Ham versus Manchester City, an absolutely massive, massive game. How fired up are West Ham going to be? If they can get 3 points tonight from Manchester City, first and foremost, that absolutely secures Arsenal, unless Everton do a wonderful thing at the Emirates at 5:30. And then obviously tomorrow we've got the Nottingham Forest game against Fulham. I would expect Nottingham Forest. This is one of Forest's more easier games on paper. Fulham at home, and Crystal Palace Leeds, big game as well. We'll probably want Crystal Palace, but all of those games will be done before Tottenham play. So Tottenham could easily find themselves in a sticky situation if Forest beat Fulham, and if Leeds beat Palace. That's perfectly foreseeable. And if West Ham were to get something out of Manchester City, we could find ourselves in the relegation zone. And, you know, drift to some degree, you know, not good. So who's going to take over, guys? Who's going to take over? Do you think? I'm not sure. Tudor hugs all round, maybe not. No, exactly, 100% not. We've tried every manager. Is that the excuse that's going to come out? Yeah. City lose that in the final. That is the final nail in the coffin. Yeah. And I think West Ham will be so up for it. I'm looking forward to that game tonight. I'll be nervous. Not often I watch a West Ham City game with nerves, but certainly will be this time. It's not sympathy. It's not sympathy for his ability. It's sympathy for just like you're kicking a man when he's down, I guess, right? Like you hooked him off. And let's be honest, right? The first goal that he conceded, Benny, was, well, he slipped. I do still think he pulled his hand back. He didn't stretch his arm out, which I think was weird. I don't know whether he just wasn't correct with his positioning or whatever. He thought he was going wide, but he could have saved it, but he didn't. So I'll put that one down to him. Second goal. The second goal wasn't his fault. That was Micky van der Ven that slipped, right? So I think it's fair to say that one wasn't really on him. And the third goal, yeah, for sure, he slipped as well. And then it was just chaos. But the only sympathy I have for him is just the fact that when you're hooked off after 16 minutes and it's super embarrassing and the Atletico Madrid fans are all cheering and laughing at you, it's a lonely place to be. It's a lonely 40-yard walk from your goal to the halfway line, and your manager's not even there to give you like a sympathetic, It'll be okay, bro. He walked straight down the tunnel rather than going and sitting in the bench. And I just think the more I've thought about it, the more I think it's a bit heartless. And there is always a little bit of space in your heart, right? There should always be a little bit of space in your heart for the sympathy of this, the human factor of it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, as we discovered the other day, or Frere, Igor Tudor's not someone who hugs. I don't hug. Fuck that. No time for hugs. Only time for business. Yeah. So let's move on to the next part of the show here. Not the next part of the show we're talking about. Let's have a little look-see at what exactly it was that our man Igor Tudor said in the pre-match press conference yesterday, shall we? Let me get my notes up again. Where are they? Here they go. Here we go. Go! Right. The ownership is here we go. What are we doing here? I hate the Football London website. It's so like all of their adverts and things. It's so slow on the to kind of. Let me pull this in a little bit. See if this helps. Makes it look awful. Got so many ads on their fucking thing. Igor Tudor delivered a passionate, X-rated press conference as his future hangs in the balance. Ahead of Tottenham's Premier League match at Liverpool. This is fucking terrible. Look at these things. It's a terrible website. The 47-year-old has lost all 4 of his opening games in charge, with the threat of relegation very real as they lie just a point above 18th place West Ham and Nottingham Forest in 17th spot. On Sunday, Spurs will travel to Anfield. Get on with it. Tudor delivered an update on Christian Romero and João Palhinha after their clash of heads in the 5-2 Champions League defeat at Atletico Madrid, as well as the latest on Destiny Udogie. He also spoke about goalkeeper Kinsky following his difficult night. Let's find out what he said, shall we? How tough has this week been? Tough for sure. Not just because of last game, but because of the period and the past. Not easy situation, not an easy moment. And from the other side, a big challenge to change things. Like everything in life, you can choose how to see the situation. You can stay and cry. Or you can fight. You can be the victim, or you can say, I can change something. Sounds like a Rocky Balboa speech without the drama. This is the message I want to start and what I told to the players. Someone's just dropped into the stream. Who is it? My man, Pete. How are you, Pete? Good to see you.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Good, man. What's crack-a-lacking? How you been?
Oh, all right, mate. Yourself?
Not bad. Just getting on with this dreary existence of being a Tottenham fan. It's pretty ropey, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, mustard, yeah.
Let me these I'll come back to you in we'll get on some of these things. And so he's basically saying, this is the message I want to start on. I told the players, everyone's speaking, everyone has opinions, and life is always how you see it. The bottle is always half empty or half full. Here, there is nothing full. There is a lot of empty things, but difficult moments don't last forever. It will pass, and I believe the players who will take this as a challenge, as an opportunity, will stand up with the courage to change things. After this period, they will become better people and better players. So in tough moments, it's always about that. It's always about us. In the last period, a lot of things about what is the club, the problems, no one can do nothing. And this like victimish, like we were victims. I said this morning to the players, totally opposition things. We are the team and we are the staff. It's all about us. All the bullshit, all the other things are bullshit. And sorry to use this word, but it's on us. What do you think? What do you make of it? What do you make of his lines there, mate? His statements. He's swearing. He's saying like Tottenham players think that we're victims, feeling sorry for ourselves. He's basically calling us all pussies, right? Typical Eastern Bloc kind of, rhetoric. These guys are like, cut from a different sort of, cut from a different stone, aren't they? Over there, there's no time for feelings, is there?
No, on a normal day, you'd say, yeah, fair enough, but I don't think that's the sort of approach right now. To be honest, I think since he's come in, he's slated everyone. He's called the players shit, played them all at different positions, then called them shit again, and now we got this sort of stuff. Listen, I agree. Probably most of these players are fragile. They've got no mental strength whatsoever. But in this day and age, I think you just got to massage egos, tell them they're the best players in the world, just to get through this, just to survive.
Yeah. I'm going to come to what you think that looks like in a minute. Then, if it's not him, are the players listening to this approach? You know, I do every day this work, psychology work. It's important also to give the courage to the teammates. Some of them cannot manage for sure. Again, he's calling them out, and he's calling them out. Somewhere you arrive and you can help them. My goal is to find if I can help to do 18 players out of 20. 15, I don't know how much. Sometimes you cannot do anything, but most of the time you can do even small changes, small help. You know, you can do it. But also, it's what I always like to say to the players. Don't be a victim. Don't think it's not about me. You know, that can be the problem more than all these things about Tottenham and the club, you know, like magic on the club, like bad black magic and this other bullshit, you know. So this is about what I want to send a message. That is your message to the players, to everyone involved with this club. To the owners, interesting. The ownership is the ownership. The club is there. The owner is the owner. They are always right and they do what they want with the club. It is always like that, but the problems are of everyone, not just the player or the coach or the staff. It is everyone's problem. Have you spoken with the hierarchy over the last few days? I speak with the director and Vinay every day. We are speaking and sharing opinions. Do they share your frustrations? Everyone is disappointed. This is for sure. The players care. If you don't care, you don't struggle. Then you are not in the lack of confidence if you don't care. You care, and then it happens that maybe some situations there is a lack of confidence in situations on the pitch that usually don't happen. That can also be an explanation. I'll pause for a second, mate. I'm going to come back to you. He's moving on now to things like Micky van der Ven. What's your... so you don't think he's the guy for the... You don't think he's the guy... Well, it's the wrong message.
Can't hear you.
Right guy? You can't hear me?
You muted yourself or something.
Can you hear me now? No. Can you guys still hear me in the chat?
I can't hear you, mate.
Hang on. Can you guys in the chat still hear me or not?
I can't hear you.
Do you want to jump out and jump back in? Yeah. You guys can hear me, yeah? It's obviously on. I think it's an iPhone thing. All right, let me do this whilst he's coming back in. Micky van der Ven says it's been a terrible period after the defeat to Atletico. How concerned are you about your players? We are trying to help them and provide everything we can from the club. Like I was speaking before, there is the one point. The other point is the part of the job to be under stress and choose what you want to do. As I said at the start, the same answer I gave to your colleague, I can use it here. So it's not easy, but all good things are not easy. Message in the training sessions is the same. Always when you do some things, that is the message. The right and the best things are not easy. I've got to be honest. Right? I actually agree with him on this thing. I actually agree with him. No, I can't hear you. If you can. Yes, you can, Ian. I actually agree with him. I think the players are a little bit like fucking wet blankets here. Like you're going through a tough time. You're worried about the mental health of the players. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not someone that's like an ogre. Can you hear me now, Pete?
Yeah, that's better. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened. Sometimes iPhones just go a bit crazy. I gotta be honest, Pete, right? I feel like I don't want to be like an old dinosaur here, but I do think that like people feel sorry for themselves all the time about little things. You go through a rough period in life, and then you go, "Oh, I'm going to lie in bed all day long, feeling sorry for myself." These guys are millionaires. Right? I said this on Spurs 5 the other day. Like, I think he's making the point that yeah, okay, the club's doing everything they can. Some of these people are going, it's stressful. It's not an easy situation, but fucking man up. You know, like if you fall off the horse, what are you supposed to do? Like, you get back on the horse, right? You figure it out. That's how you grow as a person. I know these guys are in their 20s, and a lot of them are 18, 19, whatever. So I know that they're relatively young men, very, very young men. And this might be the toughest professional experience that they've had. But fucking hell, like, are we worried about the mental health of the players? I mean, I don't know. Am I being a little bit insensitive there?
No, I'm cut from exact same cloth. You know that. Remember me and you've had many discussion on that along them lines. But they are what they are. Do you know what I mean? You can't. That conversation needed to happen January, December. Like, you lot need to sort this out because you were only going one way. Do you know what I mean? But now I just think since he's been in, he's been banging that drum and it's got him nowhere. So I think that, don't get me wrong, I agree with everything you're saying, and most of these players I ain't got time of day for. Yeah, and when as soon as this is not just this season, it was last season. As soon as something goes wrong, they all fall apart and it's like they've got no answers. Oh, we don't know what to do now, or the plan A didn't work, so now we're fucked. and we'll just wait and be beaten. But I just think at the moment you got to pick your battles, and for me at the moment that conversation probably ain't one of them because it doesn't work. It's not worked so far. Trying to change tact. Because all I care about, I don't care about these players and their feelings. All I care about is staying in the Premier League. That's how bad it is. Do you know what I mean?
But what is the solution, right? Because Savage just texted me going, imagine these wet blanket princesses with Roberto De Zerbi in charge. I mean, he clearly isn't the right manager. If this is the kind of crop of people we've got in the football club that like graze their knee and they want to cry about it, go home to mummy, all that sort of thing, like dust yourself off, strap on a pair, and recognize how lucky you are and that this situation could be resolved if you all just fucking manned up a little bit.
Yeah,
if Zerbi's not the guy, if Tudor's not the guy, Pete, is De Zerbi not the guy? Zerbi's not the guy either, is he? He's not.
Well, I think you can respond. Someone can have that same sort of mentality, but present it in a different way and have a different personality about it. I don't sense much of a personality in this bloke, to be fair. Normally, if you're going to add that sort of mentality, you should try and add a bit of humour with it if you're dealing with soft people to try and get them on board. I mean, De Zerbi, yeah, and we know he's a lunatic, but sometimes that sort of lunatic is quite infectious, and it can help turn people around. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the answer. It's not this geezer. I know that. That's one thing we definitely know. It ain't him. I don't think it'd be Sherwood. I think he hasn't helped the situation when he plays players out of position and the things he's done since he's come through the door. Do you know what I mean? We've all been scratching our heads going, okay, what's going on here? We're doing it. Sure. We're doing it. The players are doing it. Then you're calling them shit. I'd be like, well, how are you calling me shit when you're playing me at left back when I'm not left back? I mean, what are you doing, mate? So I think he's gone wrong from day dot. Yeah. And as fragile as these players are, I just think now it's probably like the Redknapp approach, arm round the shoulder. Come on, you terrific player, you good player, all that sort of nonsense, and then just try that way because we need to do whatever we can to get out of this mess and keep battering them. I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think they got that resilience in them to go, do you know what? He's right. I need to stand up and be counted there. I just don't think they've got that in them. As you say, because as soon as this is over, they'll be like, well, I'll just go somewhere else or I'll be doing this, that and the other. I'm still getting X amount of grand a week. So who cares? I've still got my cars in my house.
Is the most appropriate candidate? Like, let's assume that we get battered tomorrow because we probably will, right? Let's just, I'm pretty sure Romero's out, Van der Ven's out, Polini is out. Obviously, and all the others are still out. No one's back.
Yeah.
So horrendous squad options, absolutely horrendous. We're going to get battered. Do you think that Tudor will be sacked by Monday morning?
It should be. To be honest, with this ownership at the moment, or Vinay and Lang, the Chuckle brothers, whatever, you never know because they just don't seem to see the wood through the trees, or they just there's no one who will pick up the phone for them. So it's like, well, we can't get no one, so we have to carry on.
Well, Harry would pick up the phone. Harry said it. He's been speaking about it non-stop, hasn't he?
Yeah, he keeps saying it. I mean, I'll be honest. Weeks ago, I'd have said no because he ain't been in the game for so long. But I think for the mess we're in now, like they won't know who he is and all that sort of stuff. Let's be honest, he's more of a character than a legend, if you know what I mean. Because he's never really, he has done a great deal in the game in terms of winning trophies. But what he can do is talk to people. Do you know what I mean?
He's a great communicator. He's got a natural ability to just communicate.
That's what I mean, and get people on his side. And I think for where we're at, we just need. I think probably that's probably the right approach, just to get 2 wins, big leagues, big Forest. We should be fine.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean? Just get a couple of wins, like just anything. Now I think it's the last roll of the dice. The fans will obviously love. Fans love Harry Sherwood. I'm not convinced about him at all.
I think he's a prick anyway, to be honest.
I can't stand him. I can't stand. He's Igor Tudor in a gilet. He's Igor Tudor in a gilet. He is, isn't he? Well, you look at what he did when he come in. He called all the players shit. He slagged them all off. He played some mad formations. I remember playing against Chelsea when we got spanked. He played like 3 at the back, Harry Lennon in the 10, and all this crap. Yeah, so he was just as bad. He thinks he's better than he is. I couldn't stand him. I hate him with a passion.
He hasn't been in football for how long? Hasn't he been in football for? 12 years? He hasn't had
for a man his age, there's a reason why. Because he's a prick. He's his own biggest fan. He thinks he's better than he is. He was good at youth level and he should have stayed there. He made some good calls here or there, but overall as a career, he's not. He doesn't do it, and that's why he's now working on TV and not in the game. So
I don't even rate
because he's an ex-player. No, just because he's an ex-player at Spurs doesn't mean you automatically ticks that box. So definitely not for me. I think it'd just be more of the same because I can't stand this that cunt. Mason, again, is like someone who's. I think Mason's still waiting for his. He ain't done nothing really in the game or at the club really. He got, bless him, he got sold and then got injured. But is he gonna galvanise? He won't galvanise the fans. So I can't see him galvanise the players. It's not like there's like Harry Kane to help that along or someone. Do you know what I mean? Someone who might go, yeah, come on. There's none. Them characters ain't there, so they go, who are you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the options
I think most of the players will probably look at Harry Redknapp and say, "Who are you?"
Yeah, they probably will. Yeah, but then what he can do is get them on side of his personality and the way he communicates. So then they're like, "All right, this geezer's funny. This geezer's like," and I think what Harry would do is get everyone doing back to basics because that's Harry, isn't it? He don't all this elaborate. Oh, I'll play you in there and you go up there and invert it or whatever he's doing and all that. He won't do none of that. Harry will just play left backs at left back, right backs at right back, centre backs at centre back, and square pegs and square holes. Do you know what I mean? He won't do none of this silly nonsense. But the last club that pulled him in to save the day, he got them relegated, QPR. I think that was really down, but do you know what I mean? So he's not got a great track record in this area either.
Tottenham, well, he kind of did, right? He came into Tottenham after Juan de Ramos, right?
Yeah, that's 8 games, though. Not 8 games left. There's a big difference.
But we were bottom of the table after 8 games. And he managed to get us to like 9th, was it? 9th in that league? 9th that season? 8th that season?
Yeah, something like. If we're going to roll the dice and there's him, Sherwood, Mason, I'd go with Harry all day long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But where are the options?
Well, I don't think there's any other options. But again, I think you're looking for a very specific candidate, right? You're looking for someone who's not going to need time. Like he's not going to have time to get to know the players. No. He's not going to have time to like implement some tactical pivot. Like the fact that even Igor Tudor coming in and forcing us to go to a back three. Like if he plays a back three tomorrow when there's our main 2 centre backs are both out at the same time, and Polina, who can drop in, is also out concussed. It's mental, right? Like he can't play a back three. You might as well. Richalison, play Richalison in the back three, which I thought was hilarious when Pedro Porro said that in a we're going to play Richalison. Where should we play Richalison? And Porro went centre back.
He'll end up in the back three, wouldn't he? Pedro Porro back again, and with Archie Gray right back. It's crazy.
You know what? It's crazy. Pedro Porro actually played well on against Atletico Madrid. I thought he had a decent enough game. He scored a goal, got the assist for the second. You know, I thought he was. But playing him on the right side, like I don't know. To me, I don't know what you're supposed to do tomorrow. If we do play it, but I know it's always like in possession and out possession are different things. You might play in possession with a 4, and then out possession you might play with a flat.
I don't think we'll have possession much to worry about. To be honest, what we do with it.
No. So who would the three? If you are going to see a back three tomorrow, would it be Jed Spence you'd play on the right side of a back three, and then Pedro Porro further right on the right wing back sort of role, and then obviously Danso and Dragusin?
No, you'd have to, if you're going to do it, you'd have to go Danso, Dragusin, and Gray.
Gray as a centre back again, yeah?
Yeah, because at least he's done it.
And then who on the left?
Well, Spence. The lineup, the shape on Thursday weren't too bad. I just think the personnel was wrong in terms of how he sets up. I don't like setting up that way. Earlier in the season, I was calling for a back three with a certain, but the players we got now, with what we got left, for me, it's a no. But he's going to do it. I'd say Porro as a right wing back, Spence on the left, and then you've only got Gray really who can play there. At least he's played there before. Maybe bring the ball out a bit out of the three of them. We're not talking like great options here.
Nah, big up, Johnny. I wasn't expecting you, mate. I was not expecting.
No,
you
I wasn't.
How are you?
I wasn't expecting myself. Actually, I just came to just check the weather. To be honest with you, see how the land was lying. Big up, Pete. How you doing?
Hello, mate. How you doing? You all right?
I'm not bad, mate. Are you getting a taxi to the screen there? What are you doing? Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we see doing
Johnny, it's Johnny.
Jesus Christ. I look a bit fat in that one. Hang on a minute.
Jesus Christ.
Camera's
silly filters, look.
Look at
Johnny, it's Johnny.
I look a little bit more round face, but it definitely looks like me.
It's masking on me, mate. It's masking on me. That's why. There you go. How about that?
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, Lynn, look at this. Look, he's come on as me. Lynn. I'll take a picture of.
Don't even look like you either. He looks like.
No. I don't know who it looks like. It's like a fatter version of me. Love.
He's like an old, like a Mediterranean man or something.
Johnny, it's Johnny. It's Johnny. Hi, Johnny. It's Johnny. Anyway, let me get back to the other thing. What was I saying? I see pizza. You're entirely unenthusiastic about the old AI slop, are you, mate? You don't like
mate.
it.
I've seen too many of yours now.
You're getting bored of them, are
you? Yeah. Crack on, mate.
Yeah,
I ain't got time for that. You might need that to walk down the street after tomorrow, mate, because I don't want to get recognised as someone associated with Tottenham. So we all might be fucking wearing an AI mask.
What you are you, Johnny? Are you also on the Harry Redknapp train, mate?
Well, look, I mean, I think it's become a bit of a joke now, isn't it? Get Nico, get Sodra, the roly poly. I think it's a bit of a comedy sketch right now. Look,
so are we.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point, Pete. I think they are feasting on the carcass of Tottenham Hotspur. The buzzards are flying overhead. They come down, they peck us. I mean, I heard them laughing on the radio earlier. Some guy on the radio, West Ham fan, he said, "What would be the best scenario for you?" Pundit. Well, obviously, the best scenario would be West Ham stay up, win the FA Cup, and Tottenham go down. And he started laughing his head off. Couldn't stop laughing. He said the thought of it is so unbelievable. He said, and then it'd be great if Millwall came up and we could have a proper derby that meant something. So we're being laughed.
Oh, everyone's praying for us to go down. Everyone loves it. Yeah, proper. But we only got ourselves to blame.
Is that the message that the players need to hear, boys? Is that the message that the players need to hear?
They give a shit.
They don't care.
They give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't think they give a shit, honestly. They're all checked out. They're all like sandals on, bags packed, whatever. It's going to be, I just don't think they care. That's why I don't think keep beating them up mentally is probably the way forward now. I just think you got to pick your battles, and that ain't one of them at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe that half of these guys, back in the day, right, when I started watching football and even in the 80s, you wouldn't be going on. He's had a bang on the head. He'll be all right for the weekend. I mean, listen, I don't want to see anyone injured or have any lasting damage, but come on. Captain, he's been sent off twice. He's had bans. He's had injuries.
Oh, he's a disgrace.
They headbutt each other so they don't have to play at the weekend.
Yeah. Tell you, they probably said it before. I tell you, when you come on, you crash into me, and then we'll get the weekend off.
Oh, I feel a bit woozy.
Yeah.
Right. Where is he? All I'm waiting for is a picture of him at Disneyland Paris with his kids on a ride.
That's it.
No, look, I just think that we have to. I don't think anyone can save us. Is my point. You can bring in whoever you want, but I don't think we can be saved.
It's grim, isn't it? It's grim. I've never known. And every week we seem to unlock new levels of embarrassment. I mean, I thought the Palace 3-1 at home was sort of that, as low as it gets, and then we unlock a new level on Tuesday with everyone Bambi on ice, and you think, what's waiting for us this Sunday?
Yeah.
We've been 5-0 down in 10 minutes. We've had all that shit against Newcastle. Remember that? And you think, it's just new lows all the time.
Well, this is the new low. We made it to the Wall Street Journal in America.
Oh, fuck me.
Soccer. Not even football, soccer. Could an English soccer giant be booted from the Premier League? Tottenham, one of the 10 richest clubs in the game, is now flirting with relegation from the English top tier. It would be a $200 million disaster.
I think that's conservative, 200 million.
Yeah, isn't it?
If I'm honest. That's
Yeah,
I
here's
think
what
that's
the detail
miles
says.
off it.
It says the potentially dire consequences extend far beyond the pitch. For more than 3 decades, the club's business model has hinged on having access to the vast riches of the Premier League, where the market-leading broadcast deal guarantees the teams to earn at least 150 million just for showing up. Then there is prize money earned in European competition. This season, Tottenham is guaranteed at least 100 million, give or take, in the Champions League, although it's unlikely to go much further after being smashed in the first leg for the round of 16. Beyond that, Tottenham's matchday revenue ranks among the top 5 in Europe, with more than 170 million in ticket sales last season. The club also earns another 92 million from its jersey sponsorship deals. In the Championship, they would earn only a fraction of that as certain revenue streams dry up. Some of the hit would be cushioned by the Premier League calls parachute payments, but it's safe to assume that relegation would conservatively blow an immediate 250 million hole in Tottenham's budget. I actually took a quick look at the on here. I'll show you here.
Sean, can I just ask you, just quickly, I don't know if you've discussed it, we can discuss it. We can carry on this in the next show as well. But do you believe, I'm beginning to believe that Daniel did misappropriate funds. Like he's borrowed even more money, spent it wrong. And they are in a situation now where I'm beginning to believe that when they uncovered it and they did their due diligence, like the guy who I was speaking to before the game, who's an investigative, won't go into the whole thing. He says he deservedly went because there were things uncovered and there was a reason he was marched out. Now, what I'm saying to you is, are we going to find out that he's borrowed too much, he's misappropriated funds, and that's why he went, and they can't actually spend as much money as they want? I don't know. I'm wondering now.
I don't think it's like that. I think all that stuff would be, unless we're talking about actual fraud where the accounts have been written badly. But that would require like more than just Daniel.
Yeah, no, I don't mean
that. The accountant being on it, the auditor being on it.
Yeah, that would be.
It's a public business. It's hard to
you
do
can't
that sort of thing without everyone's involved. And so we publish accounts every year. Surely,
I wouldn't be surprised though if what they mean by the alleged wrongdoings is probably things like whether they were backhanders for other things, like, you know, I don't know how far back they've gone, but whether they're
Molten Brown, all the 15-8 every year we normally announce about 200 partnerships a year, wallpaper, toilet roll, hand soap, washing up liquid, all that crap. But we ain't done none of that this year.
Or if they're going back years and years and years, whether or not some of the contracts that were given out to the stadium, the builders, maybe there was some sort of like backhander in that regard, or some support about helping build something else for him for free.
Extension.
I'm talking maintenance. Look, the hotel,
maybe maintenance contracts, whatever, something like that. Yeah, 100%. Maybe that, but that's off the book stuff. On the books would have been clean.
The hotel, us hosting the 2028 was dependent on us building the hotel,
which has now been entirely shelved.
Yeah, and you know,
or they're going to offer the Glastonbury experience, where everyone turns up in a tent.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, glamping. No, listen, I don't know, man. But we've got to be careful. We say allegedly.
No, everything's allegedly.
Of course, everything. Yeah. I don't think there'll be anything like any fraud uncovered that's actually hurt Tottenham's books, but there might be something where there's been some backhanders or something.
Well, they're intimating that, though, Sean. What they're intimating is, I'm reading sort of a couple of reports. They haven't said it directly, but the situation, whether too much money's been borrowed or the cost of this, that, and the other, and the implications of going down. This was before us even getting relegated, might mean that Spurs will have to sell a couple of players to offset whatever they're talking about.
Well, they have to sell players anyway. That's like, but I genuinely think that whole FAB thing, that the Vinay Venkatesham, I genuinely think this is not me defending Daniel Levy in any way, shape, or form. You know, I just think that
Vinay's distraction stuff. That was distraction stuff.
He's got an absolute gall, the cheek on the guy to sit there and say like, "Oh, we uncovered 10, 11 months ago or whatever else that there was an insufficient level of expertise in certain departments of the company, and the only experts that they've employed they didn't have previously were PR spin doctors, the chief of communications and the chief of marketing, who are both literally employed for non-footballing activities. They say that there was an insufficient on-pitch focus. Okay, well, you had the January transfer window and you didn't do anything to help the on-pitch team. Like, the gall of the guy is, I said it last night, I think to me it comes across like a Labour government You know, it's okay saying in the first 100 days that we've got to unravel a lot of the problems of the previous government. But when you've been in the job for 18 months and you're still like you're not taking any accountability for nothing moving in the right direction, and you're still saying it was the guys before, you've been in the job and you haven't fixed anything. So how about stop doing the Spider-Man meme? It's not us, it's them. When actually, on top of all of that, the only person that's different in this organization is Daniel Levy, who was working under the remit of exactly the same owners that are still in charge right now. So it's a PR spin of epic proportions. And I find it like insulting to my intelligence. And I think on behalf of the Spurs fans, I think most of us sit there and see through that absolute load of bollocks. But none of these guys want to take accountability. So I find the whole thing a joke. And the sooner that Brooklyn Eric or Wingfi or Staveley or whoever else can come in and make them an offer they can't refuse, the better, really.
I think the biggest. Sorry, John. I think the biggest issue financially that they know, and so they're trying to play, is the lack of player trading, where we keep buying players, not selling players. So that deficit has got bigger, and obviously if we do get relegated, then payments are still due.
Sure.
But the money coming in is much less, so that's going to be a massive problem.
You'd argue though that a few of those players have actually gone up in value, right, from what you paid for them. But I think
you still got to sell. Yeah, I'm saying, but you have to sell them. But I'm saying predominantly we are very poor at selling players. Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I think that's why they rushed Johnson out the door as soon as they could get a good offer.
Yeah.
Fuck me, we need to get rid of off you go, mate. Yeah, because obviously he's going to depreciate even more because we've overpaid for him in the first place.
100%.
You could say we overpaid for a lot of poor players. I'd agree with that. And you could point that at Daniel Levy because we overpaid for poor players, but then wouldn't go the extra 5-10 million for top players.
Sure.
And then obviously those players' values crash and we can't get rid of them and end up going for peanuts. And then a lot of the players we do buy, when we buy cheap, 20-25 millions and all that sort of stuff, most of them flop and they're crap, and then we can't get rid of them either.
But I think you could probably find a profit on Pape Sarr, Johnny. No, you could probably find a profit on Destiny Udogie.
Yeah, you can now. Yeah, because we bought them really cheap.
Sure,
yeah,
right?
You
Micky
can now. I'm saying you have to sell these players, then.
Even Romero. I mean, we paid 47 million. We've what time you cut it off the book? Look, the thing is here is that we have to remember that not only was there a big investigation prior to Daniel being marched out of the building, this much I do know for sure is that every contract that was signed by Daniel was halted mid contract or pre-contract that's been signed, and they did their due diligence on absolutely everything, and that includes the hotel, that includes White Webs, that includes the extension to Hotspur Way. Everything was held up because they wanted to investigate and look at the numbers, right? I don't know why. Obviously they were looking for something or other, and they're not going to announce what they found, obviously. But I think the fact that Daniel rung Harry after about 10 years, after sacking Harry.
Well, listen, there's anyone you want to ring about how to hide money, it's Harry, innit? Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How'd you do a bank account for your dog? How'd you get your dog an account?
Well, listen, you have to be a little bit clever. You have to do a little. I've got a couple of numbers, Daniel. I can send them your way. It's absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about that. We
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. That's probably why I rang Harry straight away. I need to wire 50 million. How'd I do it?
But he just wrote himself out the game there because Daniel, he wasn't happy with how he was marched out of the building. But of course he wasn't, because he's been uncovered, mate. Marched unceremoniously, along with his wife, who used to be his secretary. Yes, guys. Both marched out. Do you
think the fact that Harry said Daniel Levy phoned me and said that if I was still there, I'd employ you until the end of the season? Do you think that the fact that that's now public knowledge, that the owners are now going to say, well, on that basis, we're not going to bring him in?
Yeah, he might have been a contender. I actually believe that the fallout with them, and the fact he's on the phone to Harry and he's ringing Harry. He was on the phone for half an hour, like telling me what a bunch of fuckers they were.
I think he might, if he wanted the job, he might have shot himself in the foot by saying that Daniel would have given it to me, because definitely Vinay or Joe or whoever are going to go, well, if Daniel said so, then fuck that, we're not doing that.
I wish they'd do their fucking due diligence on Langer and see how he got in, and then get rid of him a bit lively. Do you know what I mean? But
How's that
again,
guy?
I don't know. Going back to the owners, like the whole notion, a lot of fans are saying, "Well, if we get relegated, that'll make them sell." Like, I don't understand that mindset one bit.
Don't get us in. That's the whole show, Pete. That's the whole show.
I don't get why people think that. If they wouldn't sell at peak value, which was beginning of this season, really, when we just won the Europa League, we're in the Champions League, offers were flying at the door, and they told everyone to get lost. Yeah. What makes everyone think they're going to sell for half of that value or 30% of that value? They're not. And the relegation, if we get it, ain't going to hurt them one bit because they don't take money out. They don't put money in. So it just means the club have got to find more money to cover the shortcomings, which will then come out of other budgets. It's not going to be, oh shit, we've got relegated now. Let's do a fire sale and sell cheap and get out. It's never going to happen.
Listen, all I know is that I used to joke that Spurs would have to Google somebody, Carlos Kickable, but the reality is that's exactly what's going to be happening if we go down. But listen, I'll still be there. Sean, you'll still be there. You know,
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm very much thinking about whether to renew my season ticket, to be honest.
No, I don't mean that. Content's got a content.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But numbers
we're
won't be.
Top of the championship, Sean.
There's 700. There's 700 people watching this. I reckon by September the 5th next year, when the transfer window's closed and we got to look forward to Hull City away, I reckon there'll be 100 people watching these shows. I don't think anyone will give a fuck.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But personally, I've already sorted Lincoln at home for the Tunnel Club. So I'm pretty happy.
Surely I'm going to shoot Airbnbs around.
Yeah, I'll be over in a couple of seconds, mate.
Yeah. Pete, see you later.
See you later, mate. Look after
yourself. Everyone over at Food. See you all later, guys. Take care. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, we're going to round up now as well. We've got to go over to Football Inc.
I've got things to do as well.
Pete, great to see you, mate. Guys, don't forget to smash the like, smash the subscribe. Stay where you are. Johnny and I are going to continue the conversation over on Football Inc. right now.
Sean, before we go, what's your gut feeling? Do we drop or do we survive?
I think we're going down.
Do you?
I've settled. I'm resigned to it. So I'm like, if we manage to get a victory, I'll be celebrating like. It will be like, to me, if we beat Nottingham Forest next weekend, it will feel to me like we've
beaten. Bigger than the Europa League final now.
Yeah, it will feel like that. I'll be so happy because I don't expect it, and it's that important that
if we lose that, I think we're done. I think
100%. If we lose that game, we're done. Yep. 100%.
But I think if we're still with the same clown, I think we'll go.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I never root for Tottenham to lose. I'd love it if Tottenham won tomorrow. But I think actually Tottenham winning tomorrow might actually not necessarily be great because it will mean that Igor Tudor hangs around longer, and I don't know if he's got the stones to. But then it's never going to happen tomorrow. We
should have done it already. We should have done it already. I think the Liverpool game and the return leg of Atletico Madrid were 2 free hits for me, and I thought if you're going to pull the handle, do it now, and just go right. Just try and get them playing a bit better. Your tenure don't really start until Forest. Like, you got 2 free hits because there's nothing expected from either game. We don't even win at Anfield at our peak, let alone when we're this shit. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing there. Obviously, you're 5-2 down from the Champions League leg, so not really worried about that. If you can do something about that, great. If not, just to start getting the players playing a bit better to prepare for Forest, because I think making the move. And then, by the way, your first game is a must-win game at Forest. Like, I think that's
the tricky one, isn't it? Because if you did sack him, if you sacked him and then you brought in, let's say, Harry Redknapp, then if you lose 4-0 at Liverpool anyway, then the Harry Redknapp new manager bounce is also non-existent. So it's one of those things. So I guess they're probably thinking, get the difficult one out of the way and then maybe make the change. But
I don't know. I said there's pros and cons to both of it. I get that side. For me, I just think, because of the lack of time, it should get them in. Should have done it already and start the work. Yeah. I don't think the players expect to go. We don't expect the bounce at Liverpool or after 5-2 down. The fans are not that stupid, but I think come that Forest game, we'd be like, okay, we've played better the last 2 games. Everyone's doing like back in their position, doing the basic stuff. There's something to build on. We could probably take a bit of confidence into Forest game because we've played a bit better. Maybe we narrowly lose to Liverpool and win 2-0 at home and against fucking Atletico Madrid or something silly like that. But we lose both games, but valiantly and with a better performance. I think that will set us up for that game rather than sort of chopping the skeezer out and then going to the next fella. Especially if someone like Harry, if you do bring him in, he's not been in the game 15 years. So, I mean, half these coaching staff have got to find their teeth before they even get back in that game. Joe Jordan and was it Kevin Bond and all that, you know what I mean?
That's the other thing, isn't it? It's not
Fucking,
just...
they're going to turn up by dial-a-ride. You know what I mean? All the coaching staff. You know what I mean?
Oh, dear. Yeah, I do, mate, I do. Look, it's not easy, guys. Not easy being a Tottenham fan, but we're going to carry on talking about it on Football Link. Pete, thanks for popping on, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Great to see everyone in the chat. Smash the like, smash subscribe. Stay where you are. Cheers, Pete. And I'll redirect you straight over to Football Link right now, guys. I'll see you over there in just a second. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, bye-bye.